Beloved, April 19, 2019, in dreams, I have been led to know that anarchy within the people who knows will rise even with more strength. Said my companion, the persecution begins at the house. I saw how many who profess to be the remnant people of God are taking evil against those who are governed by a "it is written." I saw how their looks were different towards us, and their angry speech showed their hatred for us. As we praised God and searched His face in humiliation and prayer, I saw how to them the time passed in the same daily routine. Said my companion, who will be able to stand before the judgment? The clean of hands, the one who did not harbor bribes in his heart, the one who does not love lies and is separated from evil. In heaven there are books, he told me, and each one of them, the God of the harvest passes his page to the review of each mortal. There, only his finger can write the word forgiveness in the book of life. There is also the book of memories, from where names are transferred to the books of life and death. No mortal will be able to see the movements that are in these books today, but these are reviewed with great scrutiny. Human rebellion, the fruit of caressed sin, makes them blind at such a solemn moment, and only their eyes fixed on the visible world incapacitates them from understanding the glories of the invisible but real world that is before us. Remember Thomas. He believed because he saw. More blessed were those who believed without seeing. The man is emboldened before the only one who can be his guarantor, and he himself places the death sentence on his shoulders. At that time, beloved, I was taken to a large granary. This was huge. I could not see where its height ended. I saw how angels entered and went out of it. When they entered, they carried something in their hands, but when they left, their hands were empty. I saw them leave quickly, and they came to a beautiful field of ripe and thickened wheat ears that they collected with promptness and put them in a sack. And when they filled it, they returned to the enormous granary. I was allowed to approach that great beautiful field, and I could see that these angels did not take all the wheat ears. I saw how from a perimeter of a square foot they took one wheat ear and left the others. I wondered for myself why they had left those wheat ears if they were identical to the others they had taken. So I went to the place and touched those wheat ears that looked lush and thickened. When I touched them, they crumbled in my hands, and a great wind came and took them away. I could not believe it. They were identical in size, thickness, and beauty, but they were empty. There was no fruit in them. I kept observing the work of those beautiful angels. They worked hard without stopping. As I watched this, I was taken back in front of the granary that I couldn't see where it ended because of how huge it was. I saw then how more angels arrived to put their full sacks. My companion said, "Observe." I saw how this granary was completely filled, and there was no more room for another sack. The angels that quickly left that place looked at the beautiful field full of wheat ears apparently lush and thick. And while they looked, I saw how a very strong wind attacked that beautiful field, and all the wheat ears were plucked, and I never saw them again. These angels were crying, and I heard them say, "The granary is ready, sovereign King." I saw how a bright light illuminated that huge granary. It shone with an indescribable light that blinded the view. I then heard a voice from heaven that said, "It is time." I asked, "Is it time for what?" And my companion replied, "The last phase has arrived before the coming of the Messiah Prince. Everything that can be removed will be, and everything that can be saved will be. Be aware and pray to the God of the harvest to gather you in his granary." I then saw a great commotion, how humans were invested by their own decision, by evil spirits, or by the Holy Spirit. An unprecedented worldwide movement began, and every man was tested to the extreme. I saw how those invested with the Holy Spirit came out moved by a power from on high, and although the evil ones tried to stop it, it was unstoppable. Then I saw another granary coming down from heaven, as huge as the previous one. I saw the movements of angels again, and as they went everywhere in the world collecting wheat ears, those who were moved by the Holy Spirit, the evil ones wanted to stop them at all costs, but this was unstoppable. I saw that hell, with all its power, will struggle in vain to try to stop this unstoppable movement. And the evil one roared, as when the lion is snatched its prey. He could no longer control those he had previously controlled, and his efforts were in vain. Then I saw a stop of all movement, and I heard a voice from heaven saying, "The kingdoms of the world have become God's and his kingdom, and everything will be newly done." The voice surrounded the world, and everybody were able to hear. At this moment, beloved, when this was happening, I woke up, and they said, Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 9 to 10. May God grant that each of us can be in the Lord's granary. May the Lord bless you all.